Hello and welcome to Woodshed Reviews, where we look at films old and new, good and bad. On today's show, we're doing a Walter Hill double bill as we look at 1987's Extreme Prejudice and 1992's Trespass.
Let's do it.
So, which one of these cult classics is underrated?
Well, they're both under cult classic kind of labels, aren't they? They've kind of had a little bit of a dusting off and they've flown under the radar a little bit, I guess. So we'll delve into that. I kind of came across Extreme Prejudice and you came across Trespass around about the same time.
Yeah.
We kind of went, let's watch them together and see how they go.
Yeah, because I hadn't really heard of either of them.
No.
And Walter Hill, we both know him quite well from previous films.
He's had a few good ones, but probably his most famous would be Warriors, I would say.
Warriors, come up to play.
Yeah, and of course 48 Hours.
Yeah, of course, yes,
Jack, tell me a story.
Fuck you.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
And we reviewed Streets of Fire fairly recently.
Another classic there.
Looks like I finally ran into someone that likes to play as rough as I do.
Yeah, this must be your lucky night.
I'm lucky. I guess maybe I am.
That definitely feels like a cult classic. Are these two? Let's get into it and see. So we'll start with Extreme Prejudice because that came first.
Yeah.
Nick Nolte, Powers Boothe, and Maria Conchita Alonso,
Yeah.
the girl from Running Man.
Yeah, she was quite popular in the 80s.
Oh, yeah?
And Clancy Brown,
Of course, yeah. There's a lot more. Michael Ironside.
of course.
It's a great film for, I suppose, guys like us who grew up with kind of a lot of these actors in other roles in the 80s. So
Reading the synopsis for this film, it sounds like it should be the greatest film ever made.
okay, I don't know if I've read the synopsis, but I'll go with it. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the film. I would say, kind of almost like two storylines kind of going on that could have propped up a film quite well on their own.
Yeah, I think that probably is what led to a few issues with the film. Because I heard that John Milius wrote the original script like 11 years before this, and it was like a mammoth script, very dense. And from an interview with Michael Ironside, he said basically only half of what he shot made the final film.
That makes sense.
And that was because Nick Nolte, who's kind of set up as the hero of the piece, wasn't in it much, so yeah, they had to kind of balance it out a bit more.
I believe it.
Yeah, it does feel like there's a lot missing from the film, some connective scenes and stuff like that. Sort of as a bit of maybe not people transporting from here to there, but there feels like there's a little bit of that. Like there's just, how did they get from there to there?
Yeah, I think the worst of it is at the start. There's feels like a jumble of scenes cut together, which is quite unusual for a Walter Hill film, whereas editing's always on point and action's very well directed, and it just felt a bit messy, and you had to kind of join the dots yourself.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A second viewing definitely helps with that, but yeah, in a first viewing it is, I can kind of see it maybe kind of leaves some things wanting a little bit, and it does feel like, although it's a reasonable length of film, about 1:40 or something like that, it does feel like there's maybe about half an hour of stuff kind of missing from it or something.
Yeah.
Powers Boothe, I think he's great in it as our main antagonist, but he disappears for a huge chunk of the film. He's not really fleshed out as well as he could have been with his relationship with Maria Conchita Alonso.
Yeah, definitely. She was great in the role, but she seemed to have very little to play with.
Yeah.
And she's this woman who's going out with her hero.
A love triangle is going on with Powers Boothe's character.
Yeah.
He's a drug kingpin operating between the borders of Mexico and Texas, and she was previously with him. Nick Nolte and Powers Boothe were best friends growing up, but they've ended up in like sort of opposite ends of the spectrum.
He's a Texas Ranger now, very much a man of the law.
You can buy me cash how you always could. But you can't buy the badge. One without the other ain't no goddamn good.
I quite like that aspect of it because there's a great scene at the start where he confronts a Mexican drug dealer in a bar, and they're kind of portrayed as poor farmers that just, having to make extra money to get by, and he ends up shooting him, so there's a bit of guilt there.
Yeah, he definitely kind of like takes that home with him.
Just another raggedy-ass dirt farmer gone broke, trying to hold on to his piece of the world by running dope across the border.
So yeah, an interesting setup, and while that's kind of happening between these two, as we sort of said, Michael Ironside and a band of merry kind of misfits, former soldiers who have been killed in action.
But they're a zombie unit.
Yeah.
They don't exist.
Yeah.
Like the A-Team.
Yeah, that did come into mind, the A-Team. They're sort of like the anti-A-Team, I guess.
But they still work for the government. So we think.
So we think, yeah.
You son of a bitch. Never was a mission, was there? How much you in for?
$10 million.
Government never knew anything about this. You cut the orders yourself, set us up to die, and you walk away, disappear.
Michael Ironside is leading his team, and they're all kind of like following him, trusting him. But as it turns out, he's actually operating on his own, and he's been working with Cash Bailey, so he kind of double crosses his team effectively. So at least an all-out kind of bloodbath.
Kind of like a Sam Peckinpah
Right,
type,
okay.
sort of finale, but done Walter Hill style.
Yeah.
It was brilliant action. I just love the way he directs action. It's just, you can totally follow what's going on, and just really well cut together. Walter Hill likes his westerns, I think.
Yeah, I read some quote that he's kind of like says that all his films are westerns effectively. Mm-hmm. This one is a bit more of an obvious western feel to it, I guess.
With the setting, yeah.
Yeah, there's a sort of like
standoff
at the end between the two main characters.
You ready? Goddamn right I'm ready. Jesus H. Christ Almighty, you think I got all day to fuck around here? It's after 4.
I think you can see that there was a great film in there.
Yeah.
A bit more epic in scale with the storytelling.
It's something that's been lost somewhere, whether it was filmed or not, whether it's been lost in editing, whether they've kind of tightened it up too much. Mm-hmm. That sounds about right when watching it. So, yeah, I think we're kind of fairly in agreement about that.
I got a feeling the next time we run into each other, we're going to have a killing. Just a feeling.
We'll go on to the second film, which is one that you came across. I was vaguely aware of this one. I kind of vaguely remember it from back in the day. Trespass from 1992. Starring Bill Paxton, William Sadler, and Ice's T and Cube.
Yeah.
Together on the big screen.
Yeah.
So, should be good.
It should be, yes.
It's okay.
It is. It feels like you should enjoy it more than you actually do. It feels like it should be a little bit better, but I don't know how.
I don't know how. I ain't the leader.
I mean, the setup is Bill Paxton and William Sadler are firefighters. They come across a treasure map that's given to them by a guy who's perishing in a fire. And basically, he stole this gold treasure from a church. He hid it in this abandoned factory at the time, and they go out the way to go and get it. But at the same time, Ice-T heads up a sort of gang of, well, he says he's a businessman, but, he's obviously a gangster sort of type.
I'm a businessman. These are my associates.
So Bill Paxton and William, what was it?
Sadler.
William Sadler.
Sadler, can't remember.
Yeah, it's Vince and Don.
The Carter's names,
Yeah.
if you say so.
I think our ship just come in. This, my friend, is a treasure map.
Yeah, so they're in the factory looking for gold. So that's another kind of Western angle. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's true. That's true. It feels a little bit silly, the treasure map and how it's given to them, and it's quite abrupt. The opening is quite, it goes full on, and I guess they're maybe trying to kind of pique your interest or something, but I could have been done with a little more of a ramp into that, I think.
Yeah, you're not giving much detail, really.
No.
Stay back! Shit! Bill! I told on Jesus Christ! I did! 5th floor apartment! I never told!
I mean, I just never feel that we really get to know who they are, how they think, what their goals are, what's going on in their life, and that might kind of like feed into this situation that they're into.
Sure. Yeah, I think we're it's meant to feel more for Vince, but like you said, we don't know much about him.
Bill Paxton, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas,
he's a more kind of level-headed.
Yeah.
Damn it, Don, we're getting in awful deep. I thought we agreed if we found somebody here, we'd cut him in on it. Well, I say you ain't entitled to jack shit. Now, you want to cut him into your share, you go right ahead. Share what? What you great boys cooking up? Keep your mouth shut, old man.
Whereas Don, we learn a little bit about him. He's got money problems. He's separated from his wife, so he needs to get this treasure no matter what.
Yeah, I didn't really feel that, if I'm honest with you, because they both kind of felt like they were on a level kind of playing field. It didn't feel like they were that different. It kind of tried to orchestrate that there was this kind of drama between them. And it does the same thing with the gangsters as well, you know, where there's like friction and factions that start to split between both groups and all that. There's crossover with things, you know, when they get hostages.
My big brother James down here, fool. He's a king around here. You spread the word. Your big brother, huh? That's right. Let me tell you, white boy, something. You don't let me go, he's gonna fry your motherfucking asses.
And it's all kind of good. It's all solid kind of stuff, and it all kind of seems like it would work well, and it does, you know. But I think again, just a lack of character stuff on both sides of the sort of like the divide. I think.
Look, I can give a fuck what they doing here. I say we handle these motherfuckers right now.
You feel probably most for the chap called Bradley. It's a homeless man who lives in this kind of derelict factory, and Vince and Don tie him to a chair, and he ends up kind of stuck with those guys while they search for the treasure.
It's our homeless guy in the middle of it who gets caught up, who kind of walks away victorious at the end. Sounds good on paper.
It does, yeah.
But again, it doesn't feel like it's earned. The character, I didn't really feel like, what's the homeless guy's name? He's the guy from Die Hard 2, isn't he?
I recognise him from somewhere, yeah.
I think he's the guy in the airport traffic controller.
Okay, right.
The beep, beep, beep guy from Die Hard 2.
The outer marker. It's a beacon, right? A radio beacon that sends out this beep, beep, beep so they know they're over it, right?
So?
So who says that radio signal has to just beep?
He probably had the most fun lines. And
yeah.
I think I finally figured out how you boys are going to get a chance to get out of here. Body bags.
I never really felt like he earned it more than, say, Bill Paxton's character. It kind of felt like, you know, like...
Well, I don't know. I don't know. It says he lives there, and these guys treated him pretty bad. I mean, they're...
Bill Paxton was okay with him, though.
Shut your goddamn mouth, you black son of a bitch. Black son of a bitch? Fuck, you kiss my black ass. God damn. Hey.
I don't know. I don't think he was totally okay with him all the time.
Man, shut up. I'm gonna shut him up.
But yeah, the deaths of everyone towards the end kind of felt a bit unfulfilling. People seem to disappear. I don't know if you noticed don't know his name, but he plays Debo in Friday.
Oh yeah, what happened to him? Did he disappear?
Just disappeared, I think.
Okay.
And he's kind of set up as this kind of like muscle guy. He's got these metal studs in his feet, which become half a plot point, and you kind of think something's going to happen with that, but it doesn't, and he seems to disappear.
Yeah, that's right. And he was in Extreme Prejudice as well, wasn't
he? Yeah, he's a muscle guy in Extreme Prejudice. So.
Typecast.
Yeah, aye, definitely.
Remember him from Monday Night Football? He was an all-star, hombre.
I believe it. I hurt my knee. Looks like you hurt your head.
Things are kind of set up, and there's a guy who's videoing everything on the...
Yeah, that was odd, wasn't it?
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Like, what, is he making a documentary about the...
About their killing people and drug deals.
Where's he going to release this?
Yeah.
Man, that's bullshit. Your shit's been bullshit all day.
Look, Vaughn, you're going to do what the hell I say. You're going to be a dead man.
Ice Cube just eventually gets annoyed with him and smashes up the camera. And that's it.
Yeah, no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things like that in it that's sort of set up and no payoff, or it just seems kind of...
Yeah. I did think they were going to do something with that, but no.
Show's canceled, punk!
You know, whereas the other film is set, you know, epic in scale. This is all in one location.
Yeah.
I thought that was quite clever, and it was kept interesting, you know, through the action. And I loved how it escalated with the gangsters. They already have guns, but they phone up another guy, Raymond, to bring his guns, which are bigger.
Shit, I take that. I was a sharpshooter in the army.
You sure you're a sharpshooter? You don't look like no sharpshooter.
I ain't shitting. I was the best in my company.
Oh, he's back, motherfucker.
This is mine.
Ice-T is plays King James, who's the leader of the gang, and he's just wondering what on earth is going on all the time because he doesn't learn about the gold.
No.
All I want to know is who the fuck are you? What the fuck are you doing here? What's this all about, man? What the hell you white boys doing up here anyway?
I'm gonna ask you one more time. What in the fuck are you doing here?
Well, he does it right at the end when William Sadler tells him it's about gold, and he's like, "What?" And then gets shot.
Gold. It's all about gold. Gold, you crazy.
Maybe the sort of like friction between Ice-T and Cube works a little better, I think, maybe than what they try to do with the main characters and stuff.
Yeah, Ice Cube's a bit more unhinged. He just wants to burn the whole place to the ground.
Yeah, shoot the men going, all guns blazing and stuff.
You need to stop thinking with your trigger finger and use your brain. You're gonna get my brother killed.
All right, man. Fuck it, all right.
Ice-T has got to be a little more, have his head screwed on because his brother is one of the hostages.
That's right. Yeah, we forgot about the hostage, yeah.
Yeah, played by the chauffeur from Die Hard. There's a few Die Hard alumni in this and a few moments in it that remind me of Die Hard. I think Bill Paxton climbs down the building attached to like maybe not a fire hose, but something similar.
Yeah.
Did we pick a winner?
Gosh, it's a difficult one. I think I definitely go for Extreme Prejudice myself.
Yeah, I think by a whisker I would go with Extreme Prejudice. I think I'll probably give that a 3 out of 5 if we're going to give ratings, and I would give Trespass a 2.5.
I think that's fair. I'll go with that.
Wow, that's pretty wild.
Okay, well that's our opinion on Extreme Prejudice and Trespass, 2 Walter Hill films. Did you agree with us? Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
Get out of here! All right, man. Fuck it, all right.